Welcome today, everybody. Welcome to Elian's Joy. It is so good to see you. If you're live on Roku, Apple, Amazon, welcome, welcome. I can't see you if you're coming in live on the show today on Zoom. Welcome. I'm so glad to have you. Today we're going to talk about Valentine, about love. It's the love month. It's February 1st. You might watch the replay, but this information in any relationship is always coming in handy that I'm going to share with you today. So we're just going to talk about a few tips to keep your relationship fresh and pretty and to do your best and work on it. And that is what it is. It is work. My name is Elian Haan. I am a leadership executive coach. I help people that feel stuck become unstoppable. I have a wonderful coaching practice and a wonderful yoga studio as well for decades. I've been in the fitness, wellness, and mental health industry. So I'm glad to be with you today. Find me on elianhaan.net. I have a free gift for you as well. I have a free gift for the winter on my internet, elianhaan.net, and on my website. And if you click on it, you get a little guide at home to take, care of yourself with some ideas and tips to take care, self-care, wonderful things that you can think of during these long winter months. And yes, these winter months are long. It is just the start of February, but we do have a wonderful month coming up. It is the month of love, right? And I want to share some things about that with you. So we're just going to share a little bit of tips, little things that you can do for yourself and for your loved ones in a relationship. So if you love your loved one, right, your partner, your spouse, your husband, everybody knows that at times in a long time relationship, we can get into a little funk, I would say, maybe into a time of, that you don't really see your partner for what he is anymore or what she is. Sometimes we can have these struggles of finding ourselves in these times where we think, is this all? Is this what it is? Right? I have also a wonderful friend who does a lot of speaking on that. And that is what we go through. We go through these questions of, is this it? Is this what our relationship is all about? What am I doing here? It's been a long time, and I have friends that just held on for 50 years, and I have friends that considered that they had to leave the relationship because it was not all that it was for different reasons. But first, and most of all, when I talk to those people in relationship coaching, I do tell them, try all these things, try everything you can to keep together and to keep the communication open. And that's where we're going to number one today in these 5 tips to keep your relationship fresh, new, and thriving and surviving. Cultivate an open communication system. It's the number one thing in relationships. Emphasize the importance of regular, honest, and long conversations, not about just the big topics that come in play, but also the everyday little things, so that we keep the relationship connected. We keep connected to each other. We feel understood. The worst things that we can do in a relationship is just be there, kind of feel that it is what it is. We're just here. We're just pleasing only. Maybe we are people pleasers, maybe, and maybe caretakers, and that is what we do. But we don't find our own needs met, right? It's maybe just a people pleasing thing, a one-time pleasing, one side pleasing thing, or maybe we don't feel seen, we don't feel heard, we don't feel validated. I myself have been in a relationship like that in the past, maybe in a relationship or two like that in the past. And I didn't really notice that because I thought it is what it is. It's supposed to be this way. This is, I guess, normal. And it was not normal because I didn't feel complete. And if you don't feel wholly and complete, you don't feel seen, loved, and validated, then we need to open the communication. It's not just about talking. Of course, it's also about listening. Are you always listening to the same? Are you always picking up the same? Or are you actually listening in between the lines? You have to create a safe space to do so, where we both, as partners, as spouses, feel listened and heard. I feel there's no judgment, right? We should be able to do this without fear, without constantly feeling that the other person is implementing their thoughts and their judgment and their feelings upon you. So there should be open and safe communication without that judgment. Open communication requires that emotional availability. We both have to be in the moment, feeling ready to do so and feeling okay with listening to each other. It's really important. And sometimes that is the time that you can set apart for that. Sometimes it is for anybody at the end of the day, maybe for a few, for 30 minutes, for an hour, just to really, I call that disconnect to connect, right? I also do that in real life and at events, disconnecting to connect. So away from cell phones, away from devices, away from work thoughts, away from maybe the kids or the pets, just being together and having that absolute alone time to listen to each other. So it's encouraging, right? Each other to express your emotions, to express your feelings, your needs, your wants, even the difficult ones, even having sometimes the difficult conversation. I don't feel heard. I don't feel listened to, right? So you have to also be sure that you actively listen and see even body language, if the other person is comfortable talking about it, if this is a safe space, if somebody is relaxing, if somebody is not having any tightness in their shoulders, and if the other person that you're talking to is completely feeling safe and open to communicate with you. So this is really important, right? It just prevents misunderstanding. It just builds trust. And even the difficult conversations, if you need more space, if you feel that you do too much or too little together, if you have different needs than the other person, which is very normal, we're different, right? But maybe I just do want to go to the theater, and maybe I do not necessarily want to go to that golf tournament, but maybe we do that for each other, right? My partner will go to the theater with me and I will go to the golf course. That kind of thing is really something that we can open up to and we can do for each other. So that's a really fun thing. Let's talk number two. Let's talk number two. Make time for each other. Time for that communication, time to see, listen, and be heard, be there in that space, and time for fun, time to build quality time to build memories. Life gets really busy. I am really a bad example of that because I have to set aside time. I love my work. I have to set aside time for my private life and really pay attention to that. I really have to be there for my family, be there for others, be there for friends that need me, make time to communicate with loved ones and with others instead of just like, oh, work and oh my goodness, I have to do this, that, and the other, which is also life, right? So taking care of the family, taking care of ourselves, taking care of the groceries, taking care of the house that we live in. So all that stuff comes with life. We have to set additional time apart. And not talking about Netflix, additional time apart, quality time to have space for each other. A weekly date night maybe, or a daily check-in time again, like I said, without the phones, space for connection. It's important to make that quality time, to disconnect, to connect, disconnect from devices, disconnect from work, disconnect from others that keep you engaged. Just be there. And in that pace of modern life, it's hard to do, right? But we're sometimes neglecting, like I said, that quality time with loved ones. I have to tell myself all the time, let's do this. Let's have a date night every week, or let's set a half an hour together every day that we can sit and reflect on what really happened. What was important to us? What was difficult? What were our wins? What were your challenges? Keep communicating about the kids, about the pets, the things that you don't love. Do also let the other person know what is difficult, what you do not love, what irritates you, what bothers you. Those are the things that we so many times do not talk about. What's in the future for us? Do we have the same wants and needs? Do we walk the same path and the same journey? It's very important to do so. So schedule that time to be together, to being together. That quiet time, that meal time, that date night, right? Just to feel time together. so fun. If you do it, it should be fun. It should be laugh and laughter. What did I say? Love and laughter. Laughter and love. Yes, these things, right? Very important. Number three, show appreciation and respect. I talk about that so much with my clients. Respect is, in some cases, sometimes, a lot of the times, way more important than just love. If we just love, that can be in all different levels. We can love on all kind of different levels, and we can just say, yeah, I love him or her because he's the father, she's the mother of my children. We can love because that person is in my life and takes care of me. But do I really respect that other person, my other half? Which I don't like to say, because that kind of implicates, always talk about this. My other half kind of implicates that I'm only half and not full and not whole. Right? I rather like to talk about two circles that are individually entities in this world, have individually needs, qualities, skills, characteristics that overlap somewhere in the middle. And we have to find that overlap. We have to love the things and see the things that we respect in each other as well. So that appreciation, we want to communicate that. That respect, we want to communicate that. We want to see somebody else and respect them for the way they stand in the world, the way they treat others, the way they do things for their family, the way they do things for us, the closest ones, the things that we see in situations, how they handle it. Are they strong? Are they vulnerable at times? Wonderful, beautiful. Are they showing their feelings, their pain, their loss, their grief? I respect that if somebody stands in a safe space with me and is being in that space so safely that they can also communicate their pains, their griefs, their loss, their hurt, their tears, right? It's very important. I respect that. I respect when somebody stands in that relationship like that, feeling so safe. I apologize. I apologize. What a big sneeze. If they're standing in that space so good, I respect that they're feeling love, but also know that they're respected from being completely themselves, being themselves in whatever decision they take, feeling respected in the things that they do, they work at, the plans they have, the dreams they have. We want to respect each other. Now, if that falls away, that's why I wrote about that so much, because I felt in the future that in the past, not in my future, what? In my past, I felt at some point that I had lost some respect a long time ago, for somebody I was with. And what happened is that I couldn't really be proud or feel myself respected, feel um, awarded, and feel loved. I didn't feel uh, proud, and didn't feel respectful for some of the actions and some of the decisions and some of the thought patterns that drove my then partner. And it was a hard thing to see, because even if you love, but you see that is sliding away, and then there's a huge disconnect, right? There's a huge, how do you call that? Broken piece in your relationship. And we need to consider and look at that. It's really important. I do work with my clients on that part as well a lot. Do you love him? Yes. Do you love her? Yes. Do you respect your partner? Let me think about that, right? Think about that. I hope it makes you think, because it's very important that we put each other on a piedestal and we feel that we are there for each other on that level. Not on the snob level of see me, but just that we love and see and respect each other in a place where we can both feel free and award each other for it. Like, I'm so proud to be there with you. I love you. I want to hold hands with you, right? These kind of things. So that way we can show that appreciation and that feeling of love and being in a good and safe space. So it's really important that we feel that loving, that nurturing love, and then feel that respect. And that is in small acts of kindness sometimes as well, right? Thank you. Thank you for helping with everyday tasks. Thank you for doing grocery shoppings. Thank you for the flowers that you brought me. Thank you for the rose. Thank you for the chocolate, that kind of stuff. It's not in the big stuff. It's not in the big things. I keep saying, yes, having material things is beautiful, and I love it for you, and I love it for me, and I love having things and looking at beautiful things and receiving gifts. But anything like that can be taken away from you. So it should not really determine your happiness. Your happiness should be in laughter, feelings, sharing stories, and building memories. It's there where you are doing that. Spending that quality time together, letting the other person know that you respect them, and really feeling that there's a safe space for communication. That brings me to number 4. We have to keep the fun alive. It is so important to keep laughing and to have fun. And to whatever that means for you, if it's between four walls, laughing at the television, laughing at people on the television, hey, having little jokes together, that's fine, right? Without judgment, we go step into the outer world anyway, because that's where we let go of judgment. That's where we don't hurt people, and that's where we don't say fun things. But if we're in front of the television, we're having a little fun and laughter about things we see, jokes we make, uh, you know, in your house. The laughter in the bedroom, the jokes we make to each other before we go to sleep. It is so important that we have that. It is so important that we can laugh together. If that is not there, then you want to think, why not? Why don't we have fun together? Travel, making memories, doing fun things together, going out. Again, having that date night, going places, sharing that. Now, it doesn't have to be all the time. We don't have to do that with the same person all the time. There are things that I create with girlfriends. There are evenings that I create with women. There are evenings that I create, or lunches that I have with other friends, but not necessarily with the same person all the time, right? We have to have that freedom. We have to allow each other that, to have that space in the relationship as well, to do things with others. But there are a lot of things that you should do together that you can make fun. And if you do not know, then sometimes we have to create that, like new hobbies, right? A weekend getaway, simply dance classes that you haven't done for decades, exploring new things, right? Get a membership somewhere, go again to maybe that dance club together, or take on a new sport, or take a new membership to the gym together. That kind of thing is important to create, right? Because now you can hold each other accountable for the things that you're doing and the new things that you're exploring, and see if it's fun, see if you get some laughter out of it. Feel seen and valued, right? And you just laugh about it. You keep it light. Sometimes we fight about things that are not important. So afterwards we can laugh about it. We can even say to each other, yeah, 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 and walk away from it and start laughing to make it a little bit lighter. And then open up the conversation again to see where you were at with a difficult conversation. So that is really, really important, right? Keep the fun alive. Laughter is the best medicine, and a really great way to connect, really great way to connect, and not to take things personal as well. So if we express something that sometimes is difficult, but we can as well laugh about it because it is difficult, and we can pick the conversation up at a later time when we're together and we have time to connect about it. We have time to dive deeper. It's a really good way to take the edge off and go back at it later and see, without the edge, without the anger, without the build-up anxiety, maybe we can discuss it at that time because we made it a little lighter, right? It's really, really important. We fall into those routines. We fall in what we call those patterns, right? That's automatic reply, that automatic response, which can lead to that boredom, which can lead to a lack of excitement, right? We have to keep it a little bit more creative and open again for a little bit of playfulness. Sometimes we have to start dating again together. That's sometimes one of the things that I gave my clients to do, like homework. Find a date this week and see each other in a new perspective, or go back to these memories where you realize, where you think again about the things that you loved about each other so much. And yes, you have changed. Yes, change is inevitable. But explain why, explain how, explain and try to find out how things happened in the relationship and how you got there. So, revisiting, revisiting things, decisions, choices, character flaws, shortcomings. Revisit and ask for help if you want to help each other, if you want to be there for each other, right? Sometimes cooking classes, sometimes divvying up the household things and try to switch them out. What if you pay the bills for a month and you do the housekeeping things, right? That kind of stuff. So it's new experiences, creating that, laughing about it, and having fun with trying out new things. It will deepen our bonds. It can reignite our passion. It is really true. And that brings me to the last thing today: prioritize growth, prioritize trust. This is not always easy, but don't miss out on growing together. Like I said, change is inevitable in our relationship and in our personalities, in our individual journeys, right? There are things that we're going to choose that are different than what our partner is doing, what our spouse is doing. It's different. And we might make choices that are not always, that we don't all agree on, but they were good for you. And so if you have to do that, prioritize that, and then prioritize that system of safe space, communication, knowing why, being able to explain, and then build that trust through consistency, making sure that you take again that space, that time, that quality time together, that respectful space where you can communicate why something is important for you, why you need to make those changes, or why you need to take on those challenges, or why you need to see things that you just did as a win because it was personally important for you, right? So you want to encourage each other for personal developments. You want to not stand still. It is really important, that personal development and that growth. What have you learned the last 5 years? Ask each other those questions. What did we learn in 2024? About each other, about the kids, about our family dynamics, about our communication? Was there growth? Was there a safe space to tell each other anything and everything we wanted? It's really important for you to feel more fulfilled in your relationship, more balanced. You feel that strengthening connection in your relationship. You can be vulnerable with each other. You can acknowledge each other's fear and insecurities. And it creates a deeper bond, a deeper connection all the time. It really does. And then laugh about it and say, okay, we got that out of the way, right? And move on to the next fun thing. You will be more reliable yourself. You will be more honest and transparent if you make this a priority, if you make growth and trust, if you make each other a priority. And it constantly evolves over time. It constantly evolves. So let's just prioritize, or let's just go back to those 5 things, right? Cultivate open communication. Make time, quality time for each other. Number 2. Number 3, show appreciation and respect. Very important, besides love. Keep the fun alive is number 4. Absolutely, we have to have fun and laughter and prioritize growth and trust. Number 5. I hope each of these areas play a role in maintaining your relationship. to the high standards that it can be, right? It's not about surviving only in your relationship. It is about thriving together, playfully thriving together. It is really the art of love to keep your relationship vibrant. I hope it helped you think a little bit. I hope it gave you some ideas for your relationship, some things that you can work on in this month of Valentine, in this month of love, all over the world. Let's keep loving each other. And beside that, keep giving love. It's really important. It makes you shine. I love you. Thanks for listening today. Make it an amazing day, the rest of the day. And I hope to see you next week on an episode of Elian's Joy. Again, find me on elianhaan.net. Find my programs. I just have a great group program starting this week, an 8-week group program, coaching program. And I have one-on-one coaching available. So find me online and also on social media. All the information is on elianhaan.net. And I will see you next week. Keep love going. I love you.